Recording in progress.
Good evening. Welcome to the Planning Development Advisory Committee for December 12th, 2023. We're going to have one meeting tonight, the Committee of Adjustment. There will be no advisory committee meeting today. There will be two minor variances today for the committee to consider. And please note that the meeting is video and audio recorded, and all electronic meetings are uploaded to municipality's YouTube page by registering to participate in the meeting. By electronic means, you are consenting to have your likeness, comments recorded and posted on YouTube. So I'd like to do a roll call. Dennis O'Connor.
Present.
Chris Picard.
Present.
Jeffrey Bourne.
Present.
And I, Councilor John Spooza, present as well. Let's do a moment of reflection. Okay, great, thank you. Let's move on to the next item, the confirmation agenda. Would you please read the resolution?
That the committee approves the December 12th, 2023 agenda as circulated.
Okay, we have a mover and a seconder. Moved by Chris, seconded by Dennis. All in favor? Okay, do we have any disclosure of interest? No?
No.
Thank you. Okay, let's do the approval of the minutes. Lynn, would you please read the resolution?
That the committee of adjustment approves the minutes from as amended from the meeting held on October 10th, 2023. That's the one date.
Okay, you mentioned as amended. Is that with reference to the December, November?
Yeah, it's the November 14th. I just have the wrong date in there. So I'll reread the resolution that the committee of adjustment approves the minutes from the meeting held on November 14th, 2023 as amended.
Okay, so do we have any comments or questions with respect to the minutes?
No.
Okay, I have one with respect to the resolution 2023-095, second page. The 6.5 meters should read 0.65 meters.
The minutes have been amended accordingly.
Okay, thank you. So I may have a mover and a seconder. Jeffrey, second. Dennis, all in favor? Good, thank you. Okay, so we're going to proceed now to the hearing part of the meeting. The purpose of these hearings is to inform and provide the public with the opportunity to ask questions or express views with respect to a minor variance application before us today. Tasha, would you please notify the secretary of the committee by email at outbanks@postage.ca if you wish to be on record and would like to be notified of future hearings or decisions regarding a specific application. The format of the hearing is as follows. I will read the application to be heard and ask staff to display the relevant information. Staff will then present information report specifically outline the purpose of the application, summarizing compliance with policy notification and submission requirements, outlining staff comments. The applicant will present a purpose and details of the application and any further relevant information. Following this, the public can obtain clarification, ask questions, or express their views on the proposal, and you will have maximum 10 minutes to speak. Following this, the members of the committee can likewise obtain clarification, ask questions of the applicant. And if a member wishes to add a condition, I'll ask for a vote on the condition. And the committee will deliver the decision with any approved conditions and render a decision. Decision will be subject to 20-day appeal period. So we'll move into the first one, application for minor variance permission under Section 45 of the Planning Act to be heard by the committee. First one, 7.1, minor variance application D13-SLA, Mark and Karen Slade, 17 Calpass Road, concession 7, rear part lot 30, part old road allowance, Calpass Road, west of Highway 6, Township of Pusanch, requesting relief of new comprehensive zoning bylaw 23-2018 as amended from section 12.4 and section 4.17.1 to facilitate additions of a front porch to existing single detached dwelling. Hey, Lynn, would you please summarize the application, notification, submission requirements, outlining staff, agency, and public comments and recommendations?
Notice of the application was given in accordance with the provisions of the Planning Act. Notice requirements for the application have been met and the following comments were received. Townships bylaw and fire departments both had no concerns with the application. Building department noted that they have no concerns or comments about the proposed variance for the 17 Calfast Road. They received the building permit application for this project and will provide their technical review under that building permit review process. Conservation of Halton has advised the subject property is adjacent to a tributary of Bronte Creek and contains a portion of the associated floodplain. The property also contains a portion of the East Morrison Swamp and Morrison Marsh, which appears to be greater than 2 hectares in size. Conservation Halton regulates a distance of 15 meters from the floodplain and 120 meters from the limit of the wetland for this particular site. Permission is required from Conservation Halton prior to undertaking any development within their regulated area, and applications are reviewed under their policies and guidelines for the administration of Ontario Reg 162-06. Conservation Halton issued a letter of permission for the proposed front entrance on the subject lands. And note that their permission does not include the septic tank shown on the site plan. Staff has reviewed the variance application drawings alongside the Conservation Halton letter of permission drawings, and note that the drawings are consistent, and as such, they have no objections to the approval of the requested variance. Source Water has advised that since the property is located in a vulnerable area, but the activities as indicated would not create a significant drinking water threat, the application can be screened out. It does not require Section 59 notice under the Clean Water Act.
Great, thank you. Laura, would you please have the owner applicant join the panelists to present their application?
Through you, Mr. Chair, there is someone in the attendance named admin, and we're wondering if that is Mark.
Sure, let's put them on and see if it is.
So we'll promote them.
Unmute
There
there
we go. Can you hear me now?
and take the video.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Sorry, can you ask the question again?
Well, are you representing the applicant?
No, we're the owners here.
Yes, we're the
Oh, you-
applicants.
Okay, sure. Would you please state your name and address for the record?
Okay, so it's Mark and Karen Slade, 17 Calfast Road in Marston, Woodlands Township.
Okay, great. So can you just briefly go over your application for us? Our staff will put forward the drawing. If there's anything you want to add to the information presented there, please do so.
Yeah, okay, so, we did submit the drawings there for the building department review and for the minor variance application. I think we have all the information on there. We have the distances and everything that was required and asked for in the minor variance application. It's simply, we're gonna take off actually an 82 square foot framed porch and want to formalize that front entrance as occupied space.
All right. That's it?
I think that's it. Like I said, I think it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, we're pretty much enclosing an existing porch. I mean, I think we, went through with the Halton and provided them with drawings, and yeah, I don't know what else really to add. I don't think it's.
Fair enough. We'll see if there's any public comments, any or questions from the public and our committee members. So Lynn, are there any registrants who have requested to speak?
No, Mr. Chair, they're not.
Okay. Lynn, are there any written comments that have been received?
No, Mr. Chair, we did not receive any.
Okay, Laura, would you please advise whether attendees watching the hearing would like to provide comments or ask questions regarding the application?
Through you, Mr. Chair, there's no one.
There's
in the
no one?
gallery.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go around the table with the committee members. Dennis,
I'm good with this one.
Chris,
No questions, thank you.
Jeffrey,
No, I don't have any questions.
and I don't have any questions as well. Okay, so let's go on to the next part. I'll read the actual application, so Lynn, you can help me out. Which part do you would like me to read? Okay. Okay, Mark and Karen Slade, 17 Calpas Road, concession 7, rear part lot 30, part Old Road Allowance, Calpas Road, west of Highway 6, Township Pussich, County of Washington, the matter section 45 of the Planning Act as amended, and new comprehensive zoning bylaw 023-2018 as amended, an application for a minor variance requesting relief from section 12.4 and section 4.17.1 to facilitate the addition of front porch and existing single detached dwelling as permitted. There are no conditions, so I'd like to go around the table and ask for a vote, and you should take into consideration the staff report, your judgment, whether the application meets the 4 tests, and it's either approved, not approved, or deferred. So we'll start with you, Dennis. Approved. Chris?
I approve.
Jeffrey?
I approve.
I approve as well. So the decision is subject to a 20-day appeal period. Sure, could you please read the resolution?
That the minor variance decision is made by the committee be approved.
Okay, I'll mover. Chris, seconder, Dennis, all in favor?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. So let's go on to the next one. Okay, 7.2, minor variance application D13 COR Donnie Carrera. 6840 Gore Road, Park Lot 14, concession Gore, Township Wilson, requesting relief of new comprehensive zoning bylaw 23-2018 as amended from 1, section 4.4.2, table 4.1, to permit accessory building to have a maximum lot coverage of 266.67 square meters instead of 200 meters for a lot less than 1 hectare. 2, section 4.4.2, table 4.1, to permit the accessory building to have a height of 7.67 meters instead of 5 meters as permitted. So let's go into the actual staff comments. Lynn, would you summarize the application, notification, submission requirements, outlining staff, agency, public comments, and recommendations?
Notice of the application was given in accordance with the provisions of the Planning Act. Notice requirements for the application have been met and the following comments were received. Township's fire and bylaw services both had no concerns with the application. Source Water is advised that since the property is not located in a vulnerable area, the application can be screened out. It does not require section 59 notice under the Clean Water Act. And Conservation Halton has advised that they have received the notice of public hearing for the property, and based on the information, the subject property is not in an area regulated by Conservation Halton, and as such, they do not have any comments that requires circulation of the application.
Good, thank you. Okay, Laura, would you please have the owner applicant join the panelists, present your application?
Dear Mr. Chair, yes, they are present here.
Good evening. This is Michael Barton. I am the representative of the owner. I submitted the application.
Great, thank you. Please go ahead.
Yes, so the I have reviewed the staff comments and I'm in agreement also with planning staff's thoughts on the 4 tests. So this property is 6840 Gore Road. It has just under 90 meters of frontage, and the property is just over half a hectare in area. It's currently occupied by a single detached dwelling with an attached garage, and there are also 3 accessory structures on the property. So the dwelling itself has 172 square meters of floor area, which is lot coverage of approximately 3.2%. And the existing accessory structures are 53.5 square meters, or just in the order of 1% of lot coverage. The surrounding area is generally rural and agricultural in nature. So it's surrounded on all sides by lands that are actively used for agriculture. There are no existing dwellings or structures within proximity to the property or the existing dwelling. It is common in this area to see properties that have primary dwellings with accessory buildings, whether they're agricultural or accessory to the dwelling use. The property is designated prime agricultural under the County of Wellington official plan, and it is currently zoned agricultural under the zoning bylaw. The application that is before you today is for it involves a few elements. There'll be removal of those existing structures that I mentioned that are to the west of the existing dwelling. There's going to be construction of a new accessory structure towards the northwest corner of the property, and then there'll be a new driveway that's constructed to provide access to that structure. So the new structure has a floor area of 266.7 square meters on the ground, and then there's a mezzanine area of 31.3 meters squared above that ground floor area. It's accessed via large overhead doors that are on the front elevation. The building will have a lot coverage of just under 5%, but this is in conjunction with the removal of those sheds. So with 53.5 square meters of floor area removed, there's a net new coverage of 213.12 square meters on the property. In terms of the structure's elevation, it'll have a peak height of 7.67 meters that tapers down in height on the sides of the elevation. And there's a limited number of windows that are provided on the mezzanine level at the rear and the west side elevation. So the variances that are before you are for a lot coverage of 266.67 meters squared, while 200 meters squared is permitted, and for the height of 7.67 meters. The items that I identified in the report I submitted were that the proposed building has been located to maximize the setback to the existing dwelling and as well as to Gore Road, but it does meet and exceed the required setbacks. The lot coverage on the property with both the dwelling and the new structure will be 9.21%, which is considerably less than the 30% total is permitted. The total floor area of 266.67 meters squared is balanced against the removal of the 53.5 meters squared of accessory building structures on the property today. There's no structures adjacent to the property that would be impacted by either the floor area or the height of the structure. It is intended, it will be used accessory to the dwelling and will be complementary to the surrounding character of the neighborhood. And again, this really is intended to be an accessory building to the existing use of the property for single detached purposes. So in terms of the tests, and again, I had noted in the report submitted was my opinion that the variances will maintain the intent purpose of the official plan. The structure, both the increase in height and the lot coverage will not adversely impact the rural character of the property or the existing agricultural uses that are surrounding the property. The structure will be replacing a number of existing accessory structures on the property, and it will continue to be secondary to the use of the property for single detached dwelling purposes. The building is located to provide significant spatial separation to the existing dwelling, to Gore Road, and as well as any structures on adjoining properties. There's only a small portion of the mezzanine level that will be located above the ground level. The majority of the activity will occur on that ground level with the above area. So the height is really towards the peak of the structure and tapering down towards the side. And then overall, the actual net new lot coverage when we consider removal of the existing structures is 213.12 meters squared. It was my opinion that the application maintains the intent purpose of the zoning bylaw. From the perspective of the floor area, we're seeing a net increase on the property of 213.12 meters squared when we remove those structures. The total lot coverage with the dwelling will be 9.21%, and the total lot coverage permit on the property is 30%. So my opinion is that the intent of the regulation for the floor area is to control the footprint and scale of the accessory structure to ensure it's compatible with the property and the surrounding area. So my opinion is that the removal of the accessory structures will better manage the uses on the property, and it will also be appropriate as a secondary structure to the dwelling. In terms of the height, the requested height is only for a portion of the dwelling the structure before tapering down in height, and there's also significant spatial separation to the existing dwelling, to Gore Road, and the surrounding properties. In terms of minor, it is minor again. I had noted here that the increase in lot coverage takes into consideration the removal of the 3 accessory structures that are on the property today. So again, while we're permitted 200 square meters on the property, what we're actually seeing is a net increase to 213.12 meters squared. And then with respect to the maximum height, the peak height is for the maximum peak of the property, with the height tapering down towards the side elevations of the property. And when you take that into consideration, the surrounding uses and the spatial separation, that additional height will not result in adverse impacts to the neighboring properties or the public realm. And then finally, in my opinion, it's desirable for this structure will allow for more orderly use of the property, as particularly the accessory uses on the property. It will be increasing the floor area in a manner that's provides overall lot coverage and setbacks that are within the requirements of the zoning bylaw. And the proposed structure will be of scale and character that's consistent and compatible with the rural character of the neighborhood. So in my opinion, the application meets the Planning Act tests.
Thank you very much for your intensive presentations. Very well done. Okay, Lynn, are there any registrants who requested to speak?
No, Mr. Chair, they're not.
Okay, so it's, Lynn, were there any written comments received?
No, Mr. Chair, we did not receive any.
And Laura, would you please advise whether there's any attendees watching the hearing who would like to provide comments or ask questions?
Through you, Mr. Chair, there are 0 attendees.
Okay, great, thank you. So let's turn over the committee. Start with you, Dennis.
Yeah, just one question. See on the diagram, we're calling it a proposed farm building. It's not a farm building. What equipment is planning on going in there?
Yes, so that is one element. It really should be referred to as an accessory building. I think is more appropriate. So it's going to be used for recreational vehicles of the owner, and then equipment for like lawn maintenance and elements like that. And then the mezzanine area is really to give the owner an area of separate that's separate from the home for private purposes, maybe some paperwork, that piece of it. But it's really intended to be accessory to the dwelling, because there is no agricultural use on this property today.
Chris.
No questions, thank you.
Hey, Jeffrey.
No, I have no questions.
I have questions. I noticed when I drove by there the other day, there were 2 shipping containers on the site. Are they part of those 3 sheds you're talking about, or they're containers that are going to stay there after this building's been constructed?
I'm not 100% of the shipping containers. The intent is there will be no structures remaining on the property, so I'm not sure if they are the same as the sheds or not. I know the owner is in attendance there. He wasn't going to speak unless necessary, but maybe he could comment on the shipping containers. But the intent is that all storage and accessory use will occur in this new building. So any type of storage that's going on the property would now occur in this building.
Yeah, I'll ask the owner. Certainly, could you stand up and just state your name for the record?
Donnie Correa. No, those containers will not be there once the building is built.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that's the comments I have. Only question I have of the committee: do we want a condition in the minor variance that the containers be removed?
I think it'd be wise.
Okay, great. Okay, so we'll put a condition in that the minor variance is subject to the removal of the shipping containers. So we have a mover and a seconder for that. Moved by Dennis, seconded by Chris. All in favor of the amendment or the condition amendment? Thank you. Okay, so
Can I read the resolution?
yeah, sure. Would you please read it?
That the minor variance decision is made by the committee be approved with the above noted.
Well, let me go through the voting process first. I think would be great. Okay, so again, I'm gonna ask that we vote on the application, take in consideration the information presented to us, the staff report, the judgment whether the application meets the 4 tests to be considered minor variance, and it includes the condition that we just discussed. So we'll go around the table. It's either approved, not approved, or deferred. Start with you, Dennis.
Approved.
Chris?
Approved.
Okay. Jeffrey?
Approved.
And I approve as well. And Lynn, would you please, just confirm the actual wording of the, condition before we, go over it?
Certainly that the existing containers be removed to the satisfaction of the township.
Okay, great. So Lynn, would you please read your resolution?
Certainly, that the minor variance decision as made by the committee with the above noted condition be approved.
Okay, have a mover and a seconder. Moved by Jeffrey, seconded by Dennis. All in favor? Great, thank you. And it's subject to a 20-day appeal period. Good, thank you. So if you want to leave or you want to stay for the end of the meeting, it's up to you.
We're good.
All right.
Can I make one comment on his behalf?
No, that's, we're finished now. We're done. Okay, you had the opportunity. I asked for comments. That's done.
I didn't realize could comment or not comment,
Well,
whatever.
Thank you.
okay, so, new business. Do we have any new business to discuss? No? I'm just wondering, this is the second, CalFresh, this is the second sort of thing that, minor versus came before us, and it seems like if it wasn't for the being in a conservation area, I mean, close to wetlands and all that, it would have been approved by staff. So I was wondering if there's a way we can see if, staff can think about whether or not we should be asking council to, redo the, bylaw, to permit such that if it meets all the conditions of, building department and the, conservation authorities and approval that, it doesn't go through this process. Like, I think it's onerous for the owners, and it's something that, we don't have to do it here, which, be appropriate to,
I can speak with Ms. Hoy Fox.
sure, absolutely.
And see what she says about that.
Okay,
And we
great.
can also meet with the county planners to get their opinion.
Okay, that's great. All right, so that's super. And one last other thing, and, it's Dennis's last meeting today, and I'd like to publicly acknowledge his contribution to the committee over the last, I guess, 9 years now. And, it's been, great having you here, Dennis. Appreciate your knowledge on agricultural type matters, and, I'm sure, wish you all the best in your new walk of life.
No problem. Thank you very much. It's been fun.
All right, thank you. So, adjournment of committee of adjustment, then would you read the resolution, please?
That the committee of adjustment hereby adjourned at 7:27 PM.
Okay, Dennis, you want to move that? Move, second by Chris, all in favor? Thank you.
Thank you very much.